Let's make sure that your home makes it to the closing table and sells for top dollar. Are you ready to dive into the secrets of avoiding a bad home inspection? So, I have personally been in the real estate game for over 15 years now, and I am going to share with you the top things that generally come up in a home inspection report and how you can prevent your buyers from backing out of your contract. Okay, because we don't want to get them completely overwhelmed with the amount of defects that they see in the home and on your report. Stick around. Times have definitely changed. Buyers are getting pickier. Let's make sure that your home makes it to the closing table and sells for top dollar. Let's get in it. So the most common thing that tends to come up on a home inspection report are those darn CO2 and smoke detectors. If they're not installed in the right areas, or if they're just completely torn off the wall, because like me, you get so sick and tired of having them chirp at you, even though you are changing all of your batteries, plugging it back into the hardwire and all that stuff, and they're still finding time to bark at you every 60 seconds. I understand how that is, and it's so frustrating that it just makes you want to literally rip them out of the walls and the ceiling. However, when selling your home, just make sure you are following these very specific guidelines. So just make sure that CO2 and smoke detectors are in their proper places. You'll want to make sure that they are installed in front of each bedroom. So if you've got a hallway, make sure that the CO2 smoke detector is right in front of each bedroom in your hallway. So it could be in the middle of the hallway where all of the bedrooms are. And you'll also want to make sure that each bedroom has a smoke detector and CO2 monitor. Now, of course, you can get those that are combined in one device. Just make sure that they are properly working. You can see the green light on them, and they are inside each bedroom and outside of each bedroom as well. Just do it to simply get the home sold, to pass inspection, and to show your buyer in good faith that they can at least rest assured of that particular part of their safety while they and or their family are basically living in your home after you've closed the deal and moved out. So next up, we've got windows. Windows, you say? How about dirty windows? So I'm going to tell you that dirty windows are going to be a big, big no-no. And I'll tell you why. Clean windows are absolutely essential, and how to check for any issues and what to do if you find any problems. So window repairs come up constantly on any repair request. And unfortunately, when the windows are really dirty, sometimes it looks as if the windows are compromised, and you definitely don't want that. So what we're going to do ahead of time is wash our windows. And also we're going to check screens, make sure that they're properly installed and that your windows have screens. If your screens are torn, it's definitely going to show up on the home inspection report. So if you have any windows that are sticky or have cracks or that they are compromised, there's going to be moisture intrusion. So what you'll need to do is have those repaired. Trust me, it takes a long time to get those things done, and buyers are absolutely going to request it. Sometimes we just need to replace the seal around the window pane, and sometimes all we need is just to simply replace the pane of glass itself. I would not normally recommend having a complete window overhaul before you move out of your home. You're just simply not going to get the investment out of it. So we'll just go through the home, check for cracked windows, check for windows that have fogging in them, and we will simply replace the sealant and or replace the window pane. Next up, we've got lighting. Okay, this matters, folks, and you want to know why? Because lighting gives way to most home inspectors that there could be something wrong with your electrical or your wiring. And we don't want that huge ordeal happening simply because you just have a light bulb that's out. So let's just make sure that we go through all of the chandeliers in your home, all of the light fixtures, all of your can lighting that are in your ceilings, and especially any of your sconces in the bathrooms or in the hallways, in your media or your game room, just anywhere that you have light fixtures. We want to carefully inspect them, make sure that all of the light bulbs are, number one, cohesive for aesthetics, and number two, let's make sure that everything is replaced, it's working properly, that when you hit the switch, things don't flicker. We definitely don't want to give way to deep electrical wiring issues that will absolutely scare any kind of buyer away, because electrical wiring issues just mean a huge expense and possible fire and a threat to their safety in the future. So we want to make sure that we eradicate any of those fears from the beginning. Another thing that we want to take a look at are GFCI switches at water sources. Every home inspector is going to mention that on the home inspection report, and it's just a now safety precaution that we have these. Most home buyers may require that those are installed, especially near your kitchen sinks, your bathroom sinks, your utility sinks, things of that nature. On my own personal home, actually, I have had the GFCI installed in my kitchen where my dishwasher and my garbage disposal are, simply because I don't need to have any kind of fire hazard or electrical hazard running both of those appliances at the same time. It's relatively inexpensive and it's very easy to install. Next up, we've got HVAC systems. Now, your HVAC system, meaning your heater and AC unit, that could absolutely be a deal breaker for some home buyers. So I'll share some pro tips on keeping them in tip-top shape and avoiding some very common issues. Plus, let's definitely talk about when it's time for a Freon refill or replacement. I'll tell you, from time to time, I will go to a seller's house where vines are actually growing on the AC condenser. Okay, their sprinkler is usually constantly running around it or on it, and perhaps even their dogs mark their territory on it. This is an item that will always get asked to repair by either a credit to the buyer or a request that the seller do it themselves. I would recommend hiring a specialist to come out to your home. When it's applicable, give you a certificate saying that it is in a great bill of health and good standing. If needed, fill it up with Freon if necessary so that it passes the inspector's test of temperature. An inspector will definitely come in with a temperature gauge. They will take a look at the controller display and make sure that the air matches the number that they have set it to. So it's very important that you definitely get a pre-inspection on your AC unit, your HVAC unit, and just make sure that you also replace those air filters before you begin to show the home and ultimately before the home buyer does an inspection. I cannot tell you how many times, putting my buyer hat on, that I walk through a home and I see that the air filter is disgusting, it's filthy, it hasn't been changed. It just gives way to a notion that the homeowner is not properly maintaining the home or the components that make a home function like it's supposed to. So definitely don't be that homeowner that makes the buyer either pass it up, number one, because it doesn't look like it's properly maintained, or number two, things can start adding up on that home inspection report and a buyer just might back out because there are just so many things and they don't know how to decipher what's really serious and what is not. I would also suggest if you have dark dust that is coming out of your AC vents, I would absolutely clean that. It just makes it look like you've got a AC and duct system that is just on its last limb. They may come up with some ridiculous request to change out the entire system. So clean it up, make it present its best, so that way you don't raise any red flags to home buyers. Another very important thing that I would say is make sure that there are no leaks, okay, plumbing leaks. That would include under all of your sinks in the kitchen, the bathrooms, bathtubs, under your sinks, your toilets, things like that. Always make sure that nothing is dripping unless you want it to, and make sure that you also eradicate any signs of leaks if you possibly can that are under your sinks, simply because we don't want to allude to water damage that could be signs of mold, things like that. We just want to present ourselves the best possible and look like we are properly, once again, maintaining the home. If you have a sprinkler system, the report is almost always going to come back that there are sprinkler heads that are not working properly, lines could be broken, all those things. And so you just want to make sure that you get the sprinkler system running properly, have your lawn care specialist take a look at your sprinklers, or get a company out that specializes in working on sprinkler systems. You just want to make sure that it's properly working, because I can guarantee you the next homeowner is going to come along, and even though the sprinkler system may not be a true detriment to the functionality of the home, they are absolutely going to request it. Last but certainly not least, your foundation. Foundation, structural issues, all of those things are going to be incredibly important. And I will also include the roof as well. We want to make sure, number one, that the roof is just working properly. There are no current leaks, that people are not seeing water stains. That's definitely going to raise some big red flags. And if a homeowner is walking through and they are seeing a ton of cracking coming out of corners of doorways, windows, if they're feeling the hills and the valleys going through your home because the foundation doesn't feel quite right, or even on that second story of your home, if you're feeling a lot of wavering and unevenness, I would absolutely get a foundation company to come out, take a look at it. Sometimes all you need is a couple of piers to maybe prop up one side or hold up the center, whatever that looks like and whatever that they would recommend. I would highly recommend addressing your foundation. Some buyers will just run for the hills if they see any type of foundation issues. And if they see that there is definite unevenness as they walk throughout your home, they're going to discount the value in their mind. And it's probably going to raise a lot of flags that this home is probably going to be maybe plumbing issues for them in the future. And just about no real home buyer wants to take on a bunch of foundation issues. Okay. So definitely get that addressed. If you still feel the hills and valleys just simply because of maybe age of the home or maybe the terrain that the home is built on, if you get a structural engineer report and the structural engineer report comes back that the home is structurally sound, I would absolutely provide that to all of your interested home buyers, especially the one that you go under contract with. I would also provide a foundation report if you either needed to get foundation work done previously, show that it comes with a transferable warranty to the next homeowner, and just give them peace of mind with the documentation that the foundation issues have been addressed. There you have it, my friend. You are now fully equipped with the knowledge to tackle those home inspections just like a pro. Now, remember, it's all about preparation. So just make sure that you take these necessary steps to have a smooth inspection and to ensure the confidence of your buyer that they are getting a solid home. So if you found this video valuable, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or any advice, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here to help you succeed in your real estate journey and to help you make a smooth transition to your next level of luxury.